YouTube? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Would've known, girl, you down.
Them slick girls get me every time. Them slick girls could get every time. Them slick girls.
I am back with another University video, aka Universal Brainstorming. Today, y'all, I have a very important topic that I want to introduce to you guys. I want to introduce this thought to you guys so that you can be more aware on how to manifest and how to do it more affectionately, but with less effort. Everything in this universe is literally created by energy and matter, you know? And when you're manifesting, you have to be on the same energy and the same vibrations as the things that you're trying to call forth, okay? Because everything already exists. Everything already exists. Everything that you want already exists. But you have to be on the same realm that it exists on. So in this world, of course, we have layers. And when you're vibrating low, you attract low things because that's the frequency that you're on. You're on a low vibrational frequency, so you're attracting low vibrational frequency things. You're attracting it mainly because you want it. Like, you want that in your life because you're low vibrational. So it's so easy to be low vibrational, but to remain high vibrational, it's hard because a lot of people around us are on different frequencies. So it's easy to turn up or turn down. You know, once you're high, you have to realize that a lot of people choose to be low. And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But that's the reality of it all. You know, you have to remain stable while evolving. And some of us that are operating on high frequencies, 9 times out of 10, you know, we have to be examples to low vibrational beings to show them, like, you don't want to stay low. You know, you're not getting where you want to get because your soul know that's not the frequency that it was born. You know, that's the frequency that it adapted to by other frequencies, but that's not the frequency that your soul wants to stay at because that's not your soul's birthright. You know, your soul's birthright is a high vibrational being. So you're going to get reminded daily, like, of high vibrational things, especially if you're low. And I feel like when you're high vibrational, you're going to be shown daily low vibrational beings or low vibrational things to help you remain stable at your own frequency. We are all created by energy and some sort of intelligence, okay? With that being said, this is how the process of creation works, right? So it's called the unified field. And if you know anything about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, this is where I'm getting at. But to simplify quantum physics and quantum mechanics, this is what it is. It's a unified field, right, of existence. Absolute being, the most high, pure consciousness. This is the level, right? And this field of unified, it has everything. It is the source, right? The source use kinetic energy. So the energy are moving. And with this energy moving, it creates vibrations. With these vibrations, they create loops of energy. Many scientists and physics refer to superstrings, okay? You know, but you don't really need to know. You just need to know the basics. So let's start over. It's a unified field, the source of everything. This source of everything has energy and intelligence. Energy and intelligence is making more energy and intelligence. The more the energy and intelligence rub off each other, they're creating kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is forming as vibrations. These vibrations loop together. So they probably loop together by being alike or similar, or, you know, similar qualities. They're vibrating the same. So they're looping in the same loop of energy, right? So now we have these loops of energy. And these loops of energy keep vibrating and vibrating and vibrating till they create subatomic particles. Now, these subatomic particles are the basis of atoms and molecules. Okay? So once these subatomic particles keep vibrating, they start to create atoms and molecules. Once these atoms and molecules keep forming and attracting each other or repelling against each other, they create physical objects. Once these physical objects are created, they come down into the 3D, and then you look at the car, and you look at the flower, and you look at your hair, and you look at your money, and you look at your home, and you look at your computer, and you're like, oh, it exists. Yeah, because it always existed. It just took some time to form. And that is the process of creation. So, now that you know the process of creation, that is the blueprint into manifesting. And some of y'all already know where I'm about to go with this. Some of y'all need me to break it down a little bit further. And that's okay. You know, we're all learning and we're all teaching here. So, with a simplified, I know this spider did not create this web that fast. Anyway. So, in the terms of manifestation, this is important. Your vibrations. Your vibrations are important. Vibrations equal frequency. Frequency equal vibrations, okay? Vibrations produce your reality. Like I was saying in the beginning of this video, if you're vibrating low, you want low vibrational things. Because that's really, like, it's your nature. You know, that's what you're attracting, because that's the loop of energy that you're in. If you're high vibrational, you want high vibrational things. Why? Because that's the loop of energy that you're in. I'm sorry, Mr. Spider, but you cannot create your home here. When you're low vibrational, you're usually missing things from your past, or you're usually lacking the vibrations needed in order to attract probably what your soul really wants. So you keep attracting things that your soul really doesn't want, and that's why it doesn't work, or it's chaotic, because your soul could be high vibrational, but if you're not yin and yang, like if everything else is low vibrational except for your soul, then you're basically a low vibrational being, because it's like your soul is trapped inside a box it cannot fit in. So it's like, I can't reach for greatness because I'm stuck in a box. You feel me? So basically, you need to learn how to transmute your energy. Transmute means to turn a low vibrational thing into a high vibrational thing. Whether it's a lesson, whether it's a problem, whether it's just you existing as a whole. You have, if you're going against something, you need to look at things from a high vibrational standpoint, and that way you won't retaliate in low vibrational ways and feeding the loop of energy of low, but you're feeding the energy of high. Once you get to a high vibrational point in life, depending on what you're manifesting, if you're manifesting a low vibration thing, it's really not going to take a lot of energy. So with that being said, it's in the unified field, right? Because everything is this, but it's a low vibrational thing, so it don't need a lot of subatomic particles. It don't need a lot of atoms and molecules, like not high energy atoms and molecules and subatomic particles. It just needs just a little bit, So, you know, to attract low vibrational things, it's so easy. But when you want to attract high vibrational things, it takes some time. It takes time. So we have to be patient, but we have to know that it's on the way. It's creating. So when you're manifesting, the first thing you need to do is have faith. You have to have faith in the unified field. So you have to have faith in the creator. You have to have faith in source. Once you have faith in source, you know that your manifestations are yours. Now, a lot of times during the manifesting phase, depending on what exactly we're manifesting, we might have like little side quests that we have to go through, because we have to clear out the loops of energies that are low. We have to clear out the loops of energy that is not operating on the same level as the things that we're manifesting. So a lot of times when we're manifesting, we're getting like pieces of our manifestations, but in low vibrational ways. Because okay B, can you go away, please? Thank you. The world. Okay. And I had a thought. While you're reaching high loops of energy, high vibrational state of mind, state of existence and being, when you're creating this new reality, sometimes it'll be like a low vibrational loop of energy. Like you're high, right? Well, you're higher than you was, right? And then these are the loops of low vibrational, you know, that's a little bit higher than the vibrational that you're at, but it's still low because it's a loop of low energy. So it's a loop of low energy. Just because it's higher than yours, it's still low energy, right? So this is the high vibrational. This is like you're climbing. The bubble is climbing, right? And this is a low vibrational bubble. And there's two of them like this. And this is you. So you might get like a piece of your manifestation. You know, it really ain't for you, but it's like in your way. So it's like you gotta fight through it. You know, you gotta go through those loops of low vibrational to get to where you need to go. So yeah, it's gonna be loops of energy trying to knock you back down. They're bullies. They're literally like sitting like this. And depending on, you know, this is you high. You started at the bottom though. So applaud yourself. You started at the bottom. This is the loop of energy. You're getting higher and higher and higher and higher. But here you meet another low vibrational loop of energy. So you have to fight your way through it. You know, you either have to go through it or go around it or whatever the case may be in that situation. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing anything right. That doesn't mean that you're never going to get there. It just means that you have to keep having faith, and you have to keep fighting, and you have to keep faith alive, and you have to keep your belief alive that you deserve exactly what you're getting. You have to remain at that same state of the thing that you're manifesting. That's the hard part. Staying at the same rate that you're manifesting. That is the hard part. That is why people be like, it's never gonna come to me and all of that limited belief. But when you're manifesting, you have to remain limitless. When you're manifesting, you have to remain limitless. The moment you try to limit yourself, oh, I'm never gonna get that, or maybe I need more time to grow, no, this is your time to grow. This is the time where you're like, okay, even though that happened to me, I'm still gonna get my manifestations. I'm still climbing my way to the top. I'm still reaching my high vibrational thing because I'm still high vibrational. See, when things happen in life, they're trying to pull on your vibrations, and especially high vibrational things, they really like, look, y'all see I'm trying to make these videos, and it's a dude on a go-kart. Mind you, they really not even supposed to be riding on the street, but it's like they're trying to interrupt me, and maybe not purposely, but the loop of energy in me that's a little low is really getting kicked the fuck off. And it's like, okay, you have to keep fighting. I'm telling you, 111. It's gonna be a lot of things, y'all. It's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna try to get in the way of you manifesting. But at the end of the day, you have to keep fighting. And that was just proof right there. You have to keep fighting, because I'm still gonna keep talking, and I'm still gonna put this video out, because y'all are ready for the truth. And this is based by facts, okay? Whatever religion, even scientifically proven, okay? So whatever you need to look up to put 2 and 2 together, do that, so that you can understand that we are all energy, and our energy does matter, and where we give our energy to and how we remain in the state of feelings will pinpoint where we at vibrational, you know. So how you handle the situation, if you handle it high vibrational, you're going to remain at a high vibrational state. If you handle it with low vibrational, you know, ways, and you're high, you might go a little bit like this. You still be high, but it's like you're not as high as you was. And you know what? That's okay, because time and patience is everything. So let's get to the next part of how to manifest. Okay, so we know that we need to have faith, and we know that we need to stay at a level of vibration that our manifestations are on, right? With that being said, high vibrations produce a high frequency reality. A low vibrational being produces low frequency reality. And that is why a lot of times in the media, they are gravitating towards low vibrational things, and they're putting on blast low vibrational things. There's a lot of good things happening in the world. It's a lot of resolutions and solutions to problems that's happening all around the world. It's a lot of cures. It's a lot of new research. It's a lot of new enlightenment. But on the news, they're really not broadcasting that. They are trying to keep you in a loop of chaos, a loop of fear. Those are low vibrational things. So that's why people be like, oh, the media is trying to psych us out and trying to keep us in the matrix. The matrix is a trick that you're limited. They want you to be limited. They want you to think that it's up to the government, and it's up to this, and it's up to that. No, it's up to you. It's up to you which reality you're living on. That's why I really can't be around people who be like, yeah, because the government's going to do this, and Trump doing this, and da-da-da-da-da. No, baby. Stop feeding your energy into that, because you don't know the power of your mind. And you keep being, oh, Trump, da-da-da, and debating and whining and crying over that, you're going to low frequencies. You're going to a low frequency reality who probably is being affected by that. But as long as you remain high, you're not going to be affected by that. That stuff is not going to matter at all. Literally, that stuff is not going to matter. Atoms and molecules, it's not going to exist in your reality, because you're not feeding it. You're not creating loops of energy around it. You're not giving it any subatomic particles. You're not giving the subatomic particles a chance to even vibrate more and create it in the in the 3D. See, the levels of the universe is like, everybody talks about it. It's definitely, I feel like it's definitely dimensions, because I feel like it's like how deep you want to go, you know, realms and all of that. I definitely feel like it exists, but I really feel like it's all about frequencies. It's all about the frequencies, and the frequencies create different realities, create different dimensions. So what dimension do you want to be? You want to be on a dimension that you're manifesting. How can you do that? Maybe write how you would feel when you have this, how this manifestation will come, and why is it important to you, and why do you deserve it? And, you know, think about all the high vibrational things that manifestation will come with or will produce in your reality. And that's when you write it down and you look at it and you analyze it, that will tell you how you need to carry yourself during the time of patience in order to get that manifestation in your reality, because it's like you either got to get to that reality or your manifestations have to get to that reality. But somewhere y'all need to merge in the physical. You know, it's existing in different realms, but you need to pull it down to you. The higher frequency or the higher vibrations that, or especially if this manifestation is really good and it's going to last you a long time and it's going to be really unified and really peaceful in your world, then you know that needs a lot of energy to be created. It needs a lot of energy to be created. So you have to think positive. It might for a long time, but you have to keep it up even when you get this thing. You have to keep going. You have to keep fighting. That's the main thing when it comes to manifestations. You have to keep up the good work, and maybe not in actually getting that thing, but keeping yourself at a high vibrational level. That is really a lot of work. And that's why people be like, oh, you have to heal and you have to face your shadows, because your shadows and your trauma is keeping you in loops of low vibrational energy. It's not that you're not ready. It's that you need to clear out some stagnant energy. You need to clear out some beliefs that are keeping you limited, because in order to manifest and be successful and manifest more faster, you have to understand that it needs a lot of energy, good energy, and that you have to be limitless. You have to be limitless, because the unified field, the source of your manifestations, the source of you, is limitless. It has no boundaries. It has no it has no rules, but the rules of natural law. And you're not, just because you're manifesting, well, depending on what you're manifesting, I don't know, but they're not going against the rules of natural laws. And if it is, then maybe that's why you're not getting your manifestations. But the natural law rules are very basic and very similar. Like they're similar to remaining at a high vibrational state. So I really feel like if you keep vibing at a high frequency, okay, bitch. Okay, B. He want to be the main star, I'm telling you. The reason why your energy and your vibration, your frequency is so important, because if you didn't get it from what I previously said, maybe this will break it down much further. Vibrations create subatomic particles. Subatomic particles are a part of the quantum field. Okay? These subatomic particles then go to a level of quantum mechanics. The quantum mechanics are atoms and molecules. The atoms and molecules then travel to the surface layer. And the surface layer is where the physical is. So let me say it again. Your vibrations are important because they create subatomic particles. These subatomic particles then create atoms and molecules. These atoms and molecules then create things that you can actually see, without any tools, physical objects like cars, like homes, like a new sense of style, like all of that. To me, I feel like it's easy to manifest feelings, and that's why I feel like a lot of these little spells that people be doing, it works so fast rather than like manifesting like an actual opportunity or something like in the physical, because they don't need to be physical. Feelings don't need to be physical. Feelings can be subatomic particles. Feelings can be atoms and molecules. So if you're manifesting, look, I need to have a peaceful mind, it's easier to manifest that because it's only using subatomic particles and atoms and molecules. It's not using, the atoms and molecules don't even need to really be physical, it's a feeling. So that's why when you're manifesting different things come faster, because like I said, it's Some things don't need the whole process to form. Some things are low. Some things don't need a lot of energy. Some things, you feel me? So what we got next? Cymatics really shows proof of manifestations with science. So cymatics are, let me not tell y'all a lie. Cymatics. Cymatics is the study of presenting sounds and vibrations into some medium that can be seen, okay? This typically includes sand or water. And also, when you're using the elements of the earth, you can manifest faster. I'm going to put in a clip of how cymatics work. You see that in the video, it was going to different frequencies, and those different frequencies was creating different shapes, different loops of energy. Those loops of energy was then forming subatomic particles, okay, whether that was seen or not, because you really can't see unless you have a lot of tools and stuff like that. But it exists, and that's the main part that people need to understand. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. They didn't even know that atoms existed until they started doing research. So just because you can't see it in the modern world or whatever, like the naked eye, or just like waking up and like, oh, that's the atom, you know, if you break it down, you know that it does exist. So when people question the creator and the source, you know that we can't just blink of an eye exist. And if we can blink of an eye exist, something created our existence in the blink of an eye, the source, the unified field. So cymatics or systematics, you know it shows you scientifically how your frequencies matter, because the different levels of frequency produce different levels of vibrations. The different levels of vibrations and frequency create different particles. These particles create different atoms and molecules. So just be mindful of how you're vibrating. And if you don't get anything else from this video, these are 3 things that I want you to know. In order to manifest, you have to vibe on the vibration that your manifestation exists on. Number 2, in order to manifest, you have to have faith and remain limitless. You have to remain optimistic the whole way, the whole fight, okay? And number 3, keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep manifesting. I don't care if you manifest every day. And to be more essential at it, use the elements of nature. Use the elements of nature. Now, as far as love spells and all that other crap on anybody else, or trying to knock somebody down, I highly don't recommend, because what you don't understand is a lot of people are best friends with the source. And the source is rooting for all of us to reach greatness. So if you're trying to knock somebody down, which is going against natural law, just know that you're knocking yourself down. You know, it might look like it's working, but it's not. That's just your karma producing, you know. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let this happen so that you can get what you need to get, so you can stop being vengeful and evil. So y'all be careful out here. You know, everybody think they got magic and woo 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 and all of that. Yeah, because you got energy. But you need to know that other people are tapped into a lot of more different things that's deeper than manifestation and deeper, you know, that the unified field has produced, and people are enlightened, and you know, you don't know what you're reckoning with. So all I gotta say is be mindful, okay? Be mindful. Be mindful of how you're operating in the universe, what you doing and who you doing it with, and all of that, because it's important. And you know, another thing I want to say, mingling with limited beings crush the belief of you being limitless. It might not be as effective depending on how aware you are, but if you're not aware and you're around like limited beings, you're gonna feel limited eventually if you're not aware. So if you're gonna choose to hang around mindful people or beings or things or whatever, know that you have to be aware that they're limited and you're not, or that they're going to stay limited, so you need to move yourself or at least fall back so you can know and stay in your limitless energy. Because in order to be in the reality that you deserve to be in, you have to remain limitless. If y'all don't get nothing from this video, please get this. Remain limitless. I want to elaborate real quick before I go, because I feel like this is bars. Cymatics is why. This is literally the proof, the scientific proof that different frequencies of sound, vibration, structure, different patterns in our material world. These different patterns are loops of energy. These different loops of energy create subatomic particles. These subatomic particles create atoms and molecules. These atoms and molecules create things in the material world, physical things. That's where our manifestations be like boop. So keep that in mind, y'all. I literally showed y'all proof of how manifestation works. I literally gave y'all the blueprint on how to manifest and how to stay in a high frequency reality. I know this helps somebody, so share this video, like, support, comment, or whatever to help the next person. Okay, think the impossible, because it is possible. Okay, y'all, and shout out to my hairstylist. Stay peaceful, stay limitless.